This one is called the pants. Take 8.
Yoga! Woo!
Welcome to Funniest Thing with Daryl and Ed, the best-looking guys on the radio. We all know the funniest things happen when we stop taking ourselves too seriously and step out boldly, like Mr. Magoo blindly stepping onto the next swinging girder and falling into an outrageous jackpot.
What a dance like we have ants, like something to load in our
Your
pants.
hosts, Daryl and Ed, are about to administer a refreshing dose of laughter and love that will inspire you to step out boldly and experience the funniest things. Now, here are your hosts, Daryl and Ed.
Hey, welcome to Funniest Thing.
Yeah.
Where each week we share stories about how stepping out boldly always leads to better than expected outcomes.
Today we're wearing hobo hats.
Yes, we are. And maybe we should put that other screen up because this one's going too slow. Just tap
That's
the
for our YouTube listeners.
yeah, we got two like video cameras or something going on here. But anyway, I'm Daryl.
And I'm Ed.
And we're broadcasting live from Middle School Studios in downtown Culver City, the heart of Screenland.
We sure are. And today's show title is... Come on. This hit Daryl like a lightning bolt of inspiration when we were sitting at the nuns the other day.
We're McLoving It.
We're McLoving It. That's right. God is the act of loving. No matter what the circumstances, when we express love, we let God's power flow freely, baptizing our life with success. And we're very excited. Music therapist and retired Navy Captain Becky Watson keeps things blossoming with today's daily word, baptism.
Yes.
I like that blossoming that you threw in there this
I
week.
put blossoming?
You sure did. I didn't write it.
Oh, man.
Do we want to give him a little...
I must have been in a spiritual blackout.
Hey, well, maybe we should...
What?
How about I read this?
Oh, that's a good one.
Because this is really... Today's daily word is baptizing. Baptism?
Yes.
Baptizing?
Yes.
Baptism.
No, it's baptism.
Baptism. Okay, I remember Daryl's baptism. Okay. Seems like it was yesterday.
Yeah, I was dropped on my head. That was my baptism.
To a pool of whiskey. Okay, so... when we
No, look, for a minute I thought this show was... I thought I was going to... I started getting afraid I'm going to lose credibility by doing this show. Now I'm just going to baptize it success.
That's right. Remember that special YouTube video we did, and it was called
What?
Remember, it was about you came up with that image of the crate of bourbon floating by.
Oh my God, that was with Joe Williams.
Yeah, that was a great. If we think, you remember what that was called?
Oh God, something about floating by.
Yeah,
we'll find it.
We were talking about how life is like a flowing river.
Oh, it's always
and everything
flowing
you
positively.
desire will come your way. And
yes.
for some reason, in that episode, Daryl's image of what could possibly float by if it was heaven was a big crate of bourbon.
Well, because just enjoy swim with the current, row your boat gently down the stream.
Yeah, and that goes well with the show.
Merrily, life is what a dream. Like even that song, is based in truth.
That's right, and it's funny because the reading that I was going to read comes from The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn, and it comes from the chapter called The Law of Non-Resistance.
Right, which baptizing things, believe it or not, really is practicing the law of non-resistance.
Right, baptizing them, success, health, whole,
victory.
Like Joel Osteen's wife.
Victoria.
All right. It's good. The first line says, resistance is hell, for it places man in a state of torment. And that's how it is. When we're resisting a situation or a relationship that we fear, we get tormented by it, literally. Our minds. I know I was getting tormented yesterday by something. So it says, a metaphysician once gave me a wonderful recipe for taking every trick in the game of life. It is the acme of non-resistance. He gave it in this way. At one time in my life, I baptized children, and of course they had many names. Now I no longer baptize children, but I baptize events. But I give every event the same name. If I have a failure, I baptize it success. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost.
Woo.
In this we see the great law of transmutation, founded on non-resistance. Through his spoken word, every failure was transmuted into success.
Yes, and I was thinking, getting in the habit of not using our words to describe our situation, which is the habit.
Oh, yes.
Like
commiserate.
Yeah, commiserating. Don't do that, because our words really do create our future.
Well, you said it really great last week when you were describing a situation with a friend where you said it's like a negative prayer.
It is.
Not only do we say the negative prayer, but then our friends go
That's
out
right.
and whenever they think about us or talk about us, they associate us, if they don't know better, they associated us with that negative story. So before you know it, everyone's praying the same negative prayer.
Yes. And it's cementing us in. So that's why use your words not to describe your situation. Use your words to change your situation by baptizing it as success. And Ed and I were talking, funniest thing, we went to eat at a place we don't normally eat at all the time.
Right.
And we get in there, but we do know, we're familiar with the owner. Ed took a French class with her.
True, and I went to school with another one of the waitresses.
That's right. And we like going there occasionally. So we went in there today, and I had my copy of Game of Life. And the copy I have, the cover is from 30 years ago, from 1986.
Yes.
And it's changed many times over the years with the new editions.
Yes.
And I had a bunch of things on top of the cover.
If you're not watching on YouTube,
yeah, you can see it. And I had a bunch of items on top of the cover, so all you could see was the edge.
Yes.
And just a little hair of the title, like just a little piece of it.
Yeah.
Immediately, the owner said, Game of Life, that book is awesome.
Yeah.
I got that book, 25, Florence Scovel Shin. We were like, oh my God, what a great coincidence.
I know.
It was like, oh my goodness.
And we there's times in the past where we had kind of mixed experiences in the place.
That's right.
Just in terms of the vibe, how we felt in there. Yesterday was our first time back in a long time, and we just blessed it before we went in. Then again, we came back today. We had a great experience yesterday. Like I said, this woman I went to school with immediately waited on us. Everything was so positive. Today, the same thing, and we end up having that experience where this woman that we would have never guessed is reading the same book and has been for years.
You forgot. I forgot. That's what we did yesterday because we were actually deciding, do we really want to go here?
Yeah, it's the S&W, what is it, Diner?
Yeah, S&W Diner in downtown Culver City.
Yeah.
And we decided, well, let's just bless it. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Let's forget everything we've thought of in the past about this situation.
That's right.
And it was fantastic.
You're not kidding.
And here's the thing I want to, if you're listening and thinking, oh, but isn't it just Pollyanna or is it for real? Mm-hmm. And even if you take, even if you don't want to believe.
Even if you don't call it spiritual.
Yeah, even if you don't.
Talking about
yeah,
this,
even if you don't want to call it spiritual. The odds are always stacked in our favor.
That's right.
Meaning that it's kind of silly that during certain situations we tend to lock into, this is going to be terrible. I can't believe this is happening.
Right.
What am I going to do now? When if we honestly look over our lives, there are thousands, and if you add up your entire life, millions and millions and millions of incidences that always turn out positively.
Right, and we were talking about this earlier.
So you're actually stating the truth.
Yes, you're
not fooling yourself.
And even if you just stay in the present moment and think about how good it is, like in this example, how good it is that I'm standing here, I'm able to do this radio show. We're in middle school studios.
Yes.
Gavi's here. We're hacking away in the back,
going through the mail.
We got Jeff Comfort holding it down for us on the on the board there, so everything sounds good. I mean, they're in the present moment alone. There's so many things that we could focus on that are positive. And I was just thinking that, first of all, Daryl and I are only talking about this because we know how our own mind works. So don't feel bad if your mind is like ours and it wants to baptize things failures. There's certain parts of our brain that have been conditioned to want to really dig into that.
It's almost like there's always the the thinking toward defeat.
Right.
And we got to remind ourselves, like a firm and loving parent. Yesterday morning...
Is that Italian? Thinking toward defeat.
Yeah, because your head's down.
That's right. That's
right. If your head's down and you're thinking toward defeat...
Yes, gotta look up.
Lift your head up.
Lift your head to the heavens.
That's right. Because yesterday I posted on The Funniest Thing, I read a great morning reading, and it was all about acceptance.
Yes.
And it says, accept the situation, and it immediately will begin to unravel it for the positive.
That's right.
Instead of resisting and fighting. I go, this is a great one. And right after that, I notice a man parking with the front of his car in my driveway. Right. So I knew I wouldn't be able to get out. And I started to feel myself get upset.
Yes.
Like I should,
Yeah.
And I go, no, let's just bless it. And all of a sudden, I started thinking, now if that was a friend of mine, like Ed or any one of my good friends, I'd say, no, it's fine. I could squeeze out in front of you, leave it there, because it's alternate side of the street parking for the cleaners.
I see.
So he had to park on my side and everyone's scrunching.
Right.
And sure enough, I felt like he was my friend. So I said, you know what, God bless him. And he did his job to get his tucked in as good as he can. I didn't say a peep. And then I go to use the shower. Freezing cold water. Because I found out that morning our water heater went on the butt. So I go, okay. And I could feel the good part of me baptizing it like a loving grandmother saying, come on, Daryl, it'll be a refreshing, invigorating summer shower.
Right.
And there was still the defeating thinking going, no, now I got to fix this.
Right.
And you know what? I went in and it was a great, at first, it was a little, I had to overcome the idea of freezing cold. But then I felt so invigorated.
Yes.
And then I'm on my way out to do the walk before I talk to you, on my morning walk. And that car had been gone, and another guy was backing in, and his nose of his car was in my driveway even more.
Yes.
And as I came out, the young man already was walking away from his car. He said, oh, am I in the driveway too much? And I said, you know what? I could squeeze by just fine. And it was so joyous.
Right.
And it made me realize on my walk, we are really in this together.
Yes.
Strangers are not enemies.
That's right.
And every friend you have was once a stranger.
That's right.
Even your spouse was once a stranger.
I've been thinking about this very thing. It's amazing how once I know someone, it's like I've approached them so differently. Hey, how are you? It's great to see you. And the weird, that's a form of baptism, because we don't realize enough of the time that, like you did, we can baptize anyone to be our friend at any given moment, because they really are.
And it's practicing non-resistance.
And of course, when you got back from the hill.
Oh my God. When I got back from the hill, and I was so cheerful, I didn't mind him. I came back from the hill, his car was gone.
That's the way it works.
It's amazing. That's the law of non-resistance. And speaking of non-resistance.
This is the perfect breaths for what you just described, because when this really comes in handy, I mean, this comes in, you can bless whatever success you're having to get even more success. That's Gabby in the background if you hear that noise. She is clearing her lungs, getting ready to deliver the mail a little bit later. So, actually, or is that one of those new comfort sound effects that he's been throwing in there? But anyway, so you can bless your success to get more success, and you can bless something that just feels like a mess
into success.
Yeah, and the moment you start doing that, our mind opens up to new possibilities. New people come through. I had that experience earlier today. I'll talk about that later. But so today's 3 breaths are: I bless my mess by baptizing success. So baptizing success is what this show is all about. Realizing that we have it in ourselves. Like you said, don't talk about how it's not going well. Don't use your words to just reaffirm things that feel stuck. Use your words and your imagination to start creating,
to change, to transform
the change you want to see, to get receptive to the good that's trying to happen.
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a breath to clear our mind. I bless my mess by baptizing success.
I bless my mess by baptizing success.
I bless my mess by baptizing success.
now it's time for the active ingredient in baptizing, which happens to come from
Eric Butterworth.
Life is for Loving.
And if you want to find out what books we're reading, if you want to get them yourself, if you go to darrellanded.com, DARRELL and ed.com, you'll see a tab for a reading list. You'll also find the script page, show scripts, where all the readings from today's show, also with the link with the YouTube episode embedded in there, all the mail, everything that happens today will be there in one place. If you just want to use that for inspiration, we've gotten great feedback about those.
Yeah, they're like quick little, morning routines.
Yeah, so go to, or anytime of the day.
Yeah, anytime during the day.
It's great for your phone. Go to darrellanded.com for that. So let's hear what Mr. Butterworth had to say. Wasn't it on the page before it starts?
No, actually that... Oh, wow, you're getting sober.
Yeah, it's just these.
Yeah, it's just these.
Just like that joke you told a couple weeks ago.
Ed was worried about this.
All right.
Okay, this is great. It is often said that the greatest need of man is to be loved, which is true. But it is a mistake to think that the need for love can be filled by others. Our yearning for love can be satisfied only by touching the love center within us.
Yes.
It is a remembering that in the beginning, love is the root of our being. Mm-hmm. The key to developing a consciousness of this love so that the energy of love may flow easily in and through us in meditation. And he calls meditation man's love affair with God.
Yes.
And Charles Fillmore once said, one should make it a practice to meditate regularly on the love idea in universal mind. With the prayer, divine love, manifest thyself in me.
Yes.
This produces a positive love current, which, when sent forth with power, will break up opposing thoughts and render them null and void. The love current is not a projection of will. That's what we always say.
True.
It's not. We're just affirming what's real.
Yeah.
It is, here, he even says it even better than that. It is a setting free of a natural, equalizing, harmonizing force that in most people has been dammed up by human limitation. Now, that's something I did.
All right, there you go.
Yeah. Meditation is an experience in loving and being loved at the center of us. This center is not a place to go, but a level of consciousness to feel. In this consciousness, we love God and God loves us. There is no question of the latter, for I have loved you with an everlasting love. Our need is to accept it, to experience it, to bubble over with it. It is a consciousness that we are in love with God and God is in love with us. And the sense of this oneness in love is the only real business of nature.
Yes.
When we feel the emotion of love, it is customary for the face to light up. The constant experience of transcendental love imparts to the face and to the whole being a spiritual radiance. The smile becomes a light with spiritual beauty. The smiling face is not only beautiful and joyful, it is loveful.
Yes, it is. So that's the perfect way for us to go to the break. We come back. We'll have more readings, stories, and a whole lot more. So coming up next, oh, this is good. Music therapist and retired Navy Captain Becky Watson keeps things blossoming with today's daily word, baptism. So thank you for listening to Funniest Thing on Unity Online Radio.
This one is called The Pants. Take 8.
Oh. Man, she holds that pose really well. Oh, she's not on there yet. That's a picture.
Yes. We hear it. Oh, wow. There she is.
Wow. Right off The Longest Day.
Oh, you even got a t-shirt?
Yes.
They gave me a free t-shirt.
Well, you deserved it.
At least they didn't charge you for it.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. I got a wristband.
Fantastic.
I got a bag.
That's the perfect color for you.
Where did we see the video? Because we watched your little morning video that you posted. Where did you find that? What's their website? Where can we? Yeah.
Music4wellness.net.
Music4wellness.net. Yeah, because we were inspired just watching that video.
Yes.
Well, it's funny because the night before The Longest Day, we had a tremendous thunderstorm. And I thought, oh boy, there's going to be no power.
Right.
I said, well, I don't need power because I have drums, you know?
Right.
go to the church, and there's power trucks everywhere. It's like this. Hopefully, it's not flooded. So everything was fine, and it was a beautiful event, and I'll be glad to share what you want me to share with that.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Lots of water. Lots of water.
We could use that over here in California.
And I have my ocean drum.
Oh, nice. I was at the ocean when I watched that video last night.
Really?
Yes. That sounds nice.
When I do those videos, people tell me, my neighbors, like, Becky, we don't care what you say. We just want to know where you're at.
That's awesome.
That's good.
Yeah.
Every week I do something different.
That's fantastic.
And it's making you look younger.
Oh, no doubt about it. You look great.
Oh, I love you guys.
Well, I bet your husband loves that you're doing this now, too, because he's probably like, oh, my goodness, you look fantastic.
Yes. He's my biggest fan.
Isn't that awesome to have someone like that who supports you?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Here we go. We're going on. I'll read this.
You're listening to Funniest Thing with Daryl and Ed, the best-looking guys on the radio. If you have a question or comment about today's show, or if you'd like to join in the discussion, friend us on Facebook at Funniest Thing with Daryl and Ed, or email us at funniestthing@unityonlineradio.org. Now, back to Funniest Thing.
Welcome back to Funniest Thing. We're glad you're here for the second segment. And you know what, Ed?
What?
We're McLoving it.
Yes. I was thinking the same thing. We're McLoving it. That's today's episode, all about baptizing things success.
That's right.
We have that ability. And in 365 Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, this was just from yesterday's reading, it was called Today I Bestow the Essence of Love Upon Everything. And I was like, this is so perfect for our show.
I got to say something about
Go
that
ahead.
before you read it. If you go to the Funniest Thing with Daryl and Ed Facebook page, you will already have seen the reading Ed's going to read. We posted that earlier today.
Exactly, because he gives a great affirmative prayer. Maybe I'll read only a piece of that part so you can go to the Facebook page. And also, if you go to darylanded.com, did you just say this?
It'll be on there. It'll be on our script page as well.
If you go to darylanded.com, that's what I want to say. If you go to the homepage and scroll down to the bottom, everything that's on Facebook, there's a feed now. So you don't even have to go to Facebook to see it. You can just go to darylanded.com.
Yeah, because some of our listeners might not be on Facebook, and now you're no longer left out. When we mention the stuff that's on Facebook or people post on Facebook, you'll be able to see it right on our website.
That's right. And again, so today this reading was called Today I Bestow the Essence of Love Upon Everything. And this is really, to me, what this show is about. Love is the fulfillment of the law. That is, we do not make the highest use of the law unless that use is motivated by love, by a sincere desire to express unity, harmony, and peace. He goes on to say, we must embrace the essence of love that we may transmit it, giving loveliness to all events. Now, a little piece of the affirmative prayer, he says, today I bestow the limitless love flowing through me upon everything. Everything will be lovely to me. My soul meets the soul of the universe in everything, in everyone. Nothing is ordinary. It is all beautiful and all meaningful.
That reminds me of the Bible verse, which is, basically says, you can have it all. You know, your kingdom and all this great stuff. Yeah. But if you don't have love, you got nothing.
Without love, where would we be right now? You know the Doobie Brothers? Ding, 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 ding.
No, I didn't know that one.
Oh, dude. When you sober up.
I think you're singing it like Fazaro.
Yeah. But you know the song goes, no, we'll talk about it later.
But what I was going to say
without love, where would you be right now?
That's the ingredient that if you have nothing and you love what you're doing, that is the active ingredient in anything we do is loving.
That's right.
And you don't have to have much of anything to begin loving.
That's right.
And if you do begin loving and throwing love into whatever you're doing, you will end up with so much more in the way of freedom, prosperity, friendships. Mm-hmm. Everything will grow from that.
Yeah.
And it's a much easier way to work because you begin to have a love affair with what you're doing.
Right.
You're working from the inside out instead of on the surface, which a lot of success systems or get rich quick schemes, they're just working on the surface, and you feel depleted.
You got to be crazy enough when you're doing this too to just do it for the sake of wanting to have a great experience.
Yes.
Because, I've been teaching summer school, and there's sort of a tendency in some people to be very forceful with the kids because they don't have a love connection with the kids. So if the kid starts to resist, it's like it becomes in their mind like a power struggle, because the whole thing feels kind of like a war. And I have that in me as well, like that you want to be in control of the whole thing. So I had like a kid who is autistic, and yesterday he didn't want to get on the bus. It was like the first day he had to ride the bus home instead of his mom picking him up, but he wanted to run into the parking lot, and I was trying to, I was just talking to him, letting him know it's just the only reason I don't want you out there is it's not safe for you, and doing my best to be loving with him. And the challenge has been there's one woman in the room who's been kind of like the enforcer. She's worked with they've known him longer than I have, and she will step out of the shadows and kind of strong arm him, not like violently, but just not in the kindest of ways, not really like connecting and understanding him,
Right.
So
which is understandable. Most people would
exactly
take that approach.
That's right.
Even a parent.
That's right. But so last night I was kind of like, because in the past this has been my whole path is like, how much can I stand in believing that this love stuff works? Even in the face of people who are almost like pressuring you to like be in control. So I just kept blessing that, particularly that woman and the kid, and I kept blessing the whole situation. And sure enough, I came in today and I just kept saying, only thing I got to do, I'm not going to act out of fear. The only thing I got to do is really stand within myself, just saying love is going to take care of this. Love is going to baptize it as success. Baptize it's already done. Sure enough, this great psychologist came in the middle of the day. I guess someone must have told her what had happened yesterday or something.
But it had nothing to do with you.
I didn't do anything. She worked out this whole story, so that the kid would know in advance what he was going to do. It's called a social story with pictures and stuff. She went through it with him about getting on the van. That worked out. So we go out at the end of the day, and sure enough, this kid's van is the last one to arrive. It's 10 minutes late. So I'm sitting. I had also texted a friend of mine who is also autistic, but he's like in his mid-20s, and he's a great guy. I said, dude, come on, tune in and send love to this guy. Right. I told him his name. I even sent a picture of the two. He's like, I'm on it. So we're out there. I'm just like doing my best to not react out of fear. I was just, come on, Angels, just help. And, I was thinking about my friend praying, and I was just like, come on, all I got to do is just affirm. And sure enough, the van finally came, and the kid walked over, and of course she parked like ways away, so we had to walk. So I'm thinking, I'm doing my best not to think anything negative. We all walk. Everyone's looking at each other. What's going to happen? With a smile, he hopped into his seat today, closed the door. We were all like cheering, high-fiving. It was amazing.
Well, that's non-resistance.
Yes.
It's trusting in the law of love and blessing. The power is within us. We just got to let it flow.
Yeah, today was really a great confirmation for me that acting out of fear is actually worse than doing nothing at all.
You're better off doing nothing at all.
It's better to first stop, then do some kind of affirmative prayer, meditation, love. It's amazing how much help and support we have and how much it flows in. When we baptize it as success, when we become receptive to the idea of it becoming a success.
And choose to believe it.
Yes.
That's the key. Belief is the active force behind the love.
Yeah, it's like it takes our foot off the hose so that all the help and all the love and the inspiration we need can come. So let's thank our listeners because they are also part of the life force of the show that has flowed in and helped us do this whole crazy show called Funniest Thing.
That's right. We wouldn't do it without our listeners.
That's right.
We love our listeners.
Otherwise, we'd still just be annoying people at coffee shops.
Yes, we would.
Or at the Elks Lodge where we tried to do this in the beginning of the show.
That's true.
That's right. So let's also thank the man, our favorite audiophile.
That's right. He makes not just this show, every show.
What is an audiophile? Somebody who just
I don't think you're allowed to say that on the air.
Oh, my bad.
Okay.
All right.
Ready?
Every week, Jeff Comfort takes us right into the comfort zone. Yeah.
Oh, he's in his Navy jet today since Becky Watson's with us.
That's right. He got his flat top redone. All right. Let's give a shout out to the prayer line. 800-NOW-PRAY. 800-669-7729. A great way to baptize any situation success. We use it all the time.
I just used it Monday before I had to speak to a group of people. And I sent them, please let my ego be out of this.
Yeah.
Let God's love flow through me and say what needs to be said.
Yeah.
In a loving manner.
Yeah.
And I said nothing I had planned. And I started to think, oh my God, maybe it didn't go. And I realized, no, it was exactly what was supposed to be shared.
That's right. And if you love smartphones as much as I do, get the letter You Pray app, free at the App Store.
Yes.
You can actually write in your prayers.
That's what I did
and
this time.
And they'll do the same thing. They'll pray
Text
with
it.
you for 30 days. It's all good.
And you'll get an email back.
Yeah.
And we're not, and they do not, there's no obligation.
Yeah, you're not signing up for anything.
No, they don't
except
harvest.
They send you the loving.
They'll send you a loving email. That's it. They're not going to hassle you with any promotional materials. It's a wonderful thing. It's been around for 125 years.
Speaking of wonderful things, but that has not been around for 125 years, I don't think. But our good friend Becky Watson from Music for Wellness is here with us today.
Yes, Becky.
Hi, Daryl and Ed, and it's such an honor to be back. How are you?
Oh my gosh. We are so excited and we're so happy you're here to read the daily word for us today.
Yes.
All right. Well, before I start with the word baptism,
yes,
I like to play my very special drum that sounds like rain.
It actually sounds like the ocean, too.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That is an ocean drum.
Oh, funniest thing.
There you have it.
Today's word is baptism. I go forth in the name of love.
Yep.
When I think of the baptism of Jesus, I imagine it provided him with a clear understanding of himself as a bearer of peace and love. When I meditate, I may experience a cleansing similar to baptism and emerge feeling God's grace.
Yes.
My baptism in love may bring forth an intense feeling of compassion as I look into the eyes of another. I may feel divine love during prayer and know I am spirit expressing. God may call me to the hands and the heart of love as I volunteer and help others. Today, I am baptized in the name of love, and I go forth as Jesus did, to be loved, compassion, and kindness in the world.
Beautiful.
Then Jesus said to them, "The cup that I drink, you will drink, and with the baptism with which I am baptized, you will be baptized." Mark 10:39.
Nice.
This is good. Because when we saw the word baptism at first, we were like, baptism? That's an odd daily word.
Right.
But then when you read it and you digest it, it really became like, like we've been sharing throughout this whole show, one of the greatest tools we have at our disposal to transform things.
Yes.
From a mess to a blessed situation. And for me, it reminded me, it's like it allows me the ability with conviction to hit the mental reset button.
Yes.
And then go forward renewed.
Yes.
And convinced that it's going to work out. You've done this. God, you've taken care of me before in similar situations, and you'll do it again.
Right.
And my whole attitude, everything starts to transform from within.
Yeah.
And the circumstances I always look back at them and see, wow, a wonderful thing really did come out of that. What I thought at first was a seemingly negative situation, if I baptize it.
Yeah. And it's like baptism is like, any situation that might challenge us, like we say, the pus or whatever, the devil's last ditch, all the limiting beliefs, they kind of come to the surface. So when we baptize them, it's like clearing, just like the baptism in the church. It's like purifying our consciousness in that moment to receive the good. So we wanted to hear about Becky Watson's weekend extravaganza.
This last weekend, I had the honor of doing the opening ceremony for the longest day. It is the summer solstice, and on June 21st, that's when the longest daylight hours. And it's an Alzheimer's awareness event recognizing the hours of sunlight. So the Alzheimer's Association asked if I would do something for the opening ceremony, and I had the pleasure of welcoming the sun at 0600 or 6 a.m.
Yeah, that's my military girl.
That's military thing, where we welcomed the sun with a chant. We did it with chanting, with sound, with silence, with space, and with scripture. And it was an amazing event. We started out outside with when we saw the sun come up, and we did a chant about welcoming the sun and how it cleans us and heals us. We welcomed the morning birds. We welcomed the breeze, and just that very second, a gust of wind came. It was like,
isn't that wonderful?
wow, this is the spirit. I mean,
yes.
It was so powerful. And then we welcomed each other. And then from that, we went inside because it's very hot here. Went inside, and I had my drums out, and I invited people to share their name. And since we're doing an Alzheimer's event, honor somebody that they would like to honor who had Alzheimer's. And the stories that people told about, most of them were fathers that had already passed away. They were sharing stories about their dad of that day. And we did some crying. It was very healing. We talked about baptizing. It's also very beautiful. And there was crying, but boy, there was moments of laughter and vivacious and joy. And just, it was just amazing what people shared.
That was a real baptism, because it's just so clearing and loving, flowing. And crying is a form of baptism. It's a cleansing. It's an emotional cleansing.
Yes.
I mean, that's garbage. Big boys don't cry. Big boys should cry more often.
No kidding. I know I had the experience. Because I've been teaching summer school, it's kind of like I'm in full, I just committed to doing this thing, because during the year I'm not usually in the classroom for that long, and I bless every teacher that teaches in the classroom.
Oh my God.
I used to, but I've been doing more lunch groups and stuff. But the other day I was just I felt just kind of congested with emotion. I didn't even know why, but then I saw something on the internet, some touching video about.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, and it I started to tear up, and everything, whatever I was holding on to, just opened up. It was definitely a baptism.
I love your story, Becky. I get the chills because
Me too.
I don't know if our listeners heard you before. You've been a guest before, and I'll make sure that other episode's listed on our script page on the website.
Yes.
But what I really enjoy that you've made me so aware of, I don't know if you are aware of this, but the way you work with people who are suffering with Alzheimer's, instead of getting caught up in this nightmare of a harrowing future and loss of the past, you made me realize how it all really is about right now. And you when you were describing how you were working with him last time, I went away feeling so high, and I get the chills because how you just would have the people there in that moment, enjoying their loved ones in that moment, whether playing an instrument, singing a song, and we don't need to remember what you forgot. This is now. I'm with you now, and they're with us now.
I mean, isn't that a great lesson for everyone?
That's what I mean.
The time?
That's what it did for me.
And all as family, friends,
that's what it
take
did.
that moment and be in the now, and just check in and just be. That's why I love the idea. Also, I appreciate the fact that you do the drumming and everything, because that brings everything straight to there's something about drumming, right, that takes everything straight to the now.
It's our heartbeat.
Yes.
Present.
Yeah.
I always say, find your heartbeat. Find your inner self. Just quiet down, get silence, and just feel your heart. And just check in. And just a few seconds. That space, that silence is so sacred.
Yes.
And it's a special gift. I have I am so thankful that I have it and I share it. Every day I have stories.
I bet.
My gosh. Yesterday was so powerful, but I know we haven't talked about what happened yesterday. But just a really quick version, I did stars this week, and we had everybody wish upon a star, and they wrote down what they wished for. Not one person wished for money. Not one wished for more clothes. They wished for happiness, love, health, and fellowship.
Dude, that's amazing.
This is the best show ever.
Yes.
No money, no clothes, no pets. It was happiness, love, health, and fellowship. And Christ was a big part of that because the fellowship is in a church.
That's amazing.
I just love sharing, community building through music, but each other. And I empower people to live in the moment. Take every day as a gift.
Yeah.
Because we don't live forever, and you just got to live in the moment, enjoy it. And I live every day in the moment.
Yeah, this is awesome. And we got to run to the break, but I just want to say one thing to our listeners that they may not know about Becky.
That's right.
I mean, this was a big leap of faith, just like it is for any one of us to pursue what we really love to do. Because doing what you love is being of service, and you will be well compensated for it because God gives us these gifts that feel good, and those are the ones we're supposed to pursue and share.
That's right.
But it's always a challenge because it's stepping out boldly from what you were familiar with and secure with, your regular job. And boy, this is just another example of when you step out boldly, not only are you blessed for it, but you end up blessing so many others.
Oh my God, yes.
It really is. You're really an inspiration, and thank you so much. I'm so grateful you're a part of my life and a part of the show.
Yes.
It's the best thing ever. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm honored, and thank you for everything that you do. You've changed my life too. I have the daily word. I read it every day. I think of you. I read your scriptures. I've gotten closer to God because of you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you because it's helped me in my ministry.
Thanks. And if you want to find Vicky, it's wellness.
Music for...
No, music. You would say it.
That's well.
Music number 4, wellness.net, right? All right, great. Coming up after the break, thank you, Becky. We will have the joke of the day, the listener mailbag, and more. So thank you for listening to Funniest Thing on Unity Online Radio.
This one is...
Thank you so much. This show is just like that thing I was talking about on Monday. We have something in our mind, stories we think we're going to share.
Yeah.
And the only thing that really pretty much stays somewhat to the script is we know what times we have to go places, and we know we have readings, and we know you're coming on, and at that time, the Daily Word. But it always turns for the better when you just let it. That was such a good story. That your example on Sunday was the perfect living example of baptizing something.
Yes.
Yeah, the healing and the cleansing, crying and tears. I just, in this scripture verse is, it's so me. The compassion, the love, and faith, and cleansing is so nice.
That's so awesome.
And
I am so honored. And you're right. The more you give, the more you get back.
Yes.
Fantastic.
And that thing, you were baptizing something that in a very positive way that so often we could be, misinterpret it in my mind of thinking, well, I better act serious. And, these people just lost family members who suffered for years with Alzheimer's. I better not be too happy. And that's crap.
It is.
So, that is not baptizing anything. What?
All right, we got to go.
Oh, we got to go.
All right, bring us back, and I'll read that.
We now return to the funniest thing. Here are your hosts, Daryl and Ed, the best-looking guys on the radio.
Welcome back. We're McLoving It, segment 3, and you stuck around.
Yes, thank you.
Or if you're just joining us, there's some really great stuff if you just back up that scrubber bar on your iTunes your iPod or on your YouTube.
That's right. Correct.
And we just got done speaking with Becky Watson.
Oh, man. Musicforwellness.net. She's fantastic.
Yes, and Ed has a reading for us.
Yeah, and this is from The Power of Decision by Raymond Charles Barker, which is an amazing book. Also at darylned.com on the reading list.
Yours even has an actual photo of the man.
Yeah, he likes to stare you down with deep eyes. All right, so let's see. This comes from toward the end of the book. This book, I highly recommend this book. There's some, I mean, this one goes in and out. But when it's in, it's like, I love this book.
And all the books can be found at darylned.com.
Yeah.
Just hit the reading list tab.
Okay, so this is from this little section called Trust in Life, from the chapter called Decisions, Decisions, Decisions. It says, when you trust the creative power of the universe, you know what real relaxation is. You do not have to solve the problems of the world unless you are the head of a government. You do not have to solve other people's troubles unless you are a professional counselor. What a relief. You do have to solve your own problems, and this you do without fuss and anxiety. You make right decisions and let the subconscious mind do the work. Your attitude is, I am resolved what to do. That's from Luke 16:4. And it's therefore, tensions regarding decisions cannot arise in your mind, emotions, and body. To trust in life reduces the pressure of everyday living. It makes you feel that the whole world is supporting you at all times. This is exactly what the world is doing. Something great, wonderful, and true is backing up each of us.
The beginning of that is key, where it says, if you don't have to solve the problems of the world unless you're a head of state. Yeah. Meaning that sometimes, the urge is to start talking about things that injustices that I feel are going on in the world somewhere,
right,
other than in my own little square.
Yes.
And me and my wife will always remind each other if we're telling each other something, that's so that the other person, well, why don't you do this? That's not in your square.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To get back in our square. And why I'm bringing this up is, I catch myself thinking I want to chime in about something I'm in disagreement with in the world on Facebook.
Yeah.
And you know what? I haven't. Because it's just the feeling I get when I think, even though I'm right and putting down the right thoughts to share with others, how do I really feel in this moment right now?
Yes.
And if I'm honest, I don't feel good. I'm feeling funky, congested.
Right.
Because I'm not sharing love. That's the best thing. I'm just contributing more of that same negative energy that I'm condemning.
Right.
I'm bringing more of that energy into the universe.
It's better to actually silently bless and
that's what I was going to say.
Baptize the situation.
Baptize
the people who can do something about it.
Yes.
Baptize the people involved, and then just let it go, so that you can go about your own life and baptize that with that same love.
Right. And I know the temptation is to tell other people about it. Zip it and bless the situation. If others bring it up in a negative way, say, we need to just bless that situation. I'm sending forth good thoughts for all those people involved. And you'll be surprised how much the other person will come along and join you and go, what? That's a great way to look at this.
That's right.
You'll feel the energy.
That's right.
And that'll heal the situation faster than trying to make sure everyone understands what's going on.
All right. You're starting to get into a Joel Osteenish voice, so why don't we tell a joke?
That wasn't Joel Osteen.
Just have it the last
That was
part.
1940s.
I thought
that was William Winchell.
Little Osteenish.
Oh, Walter Winchell.
Little Osteenish. Let's get into the joke. It's
we have a joke?
Yeah, you got to tell it.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Rock. I prepped you for this all day.
But this is a true story.
True story.
Yeah, this guy, went into this dive bar. And these dive bars, they're real smoky. You really can't.
Hard to even see, huh?
It's impossible to see. The smoke is all at chin level up to the ceiling. Yeah. So he sits down at the bar, and he's noted, of course, he could tell it's a woman sitting next to him, and he says, "Hey, you want to hear a blonde joke?" Mm-hmm. And to which she replies, "Well, before you tell that joke, I think I ought to let you know that I'm blonde, I'm 6'2", and I'm a WWE female wrestling champ. And this lady sitting next to me, my friend, is 6 foot even, and she is a world-class martial artist. And our third friend at the end of the bar right here is 6'3", and she is the world-renowned female kickboxing champion. Are you sure you still want to tell that blonde joke?
You're right. I don't want to have to explain it 3 times.
Whoa!
Yeah! Wait, what's that we hear?
It's Gabby.
Let's go. Hold on. Shall we?
It's Gabby the Postal Pitbull.
It sure is. And she's got a full mailbag today.
Yes, I know. She was hacking through it earlier.
How about I start with this one that just came fresh off the Funniest Thing Facebook fan page.
Yes, it did.
It's from Chicago, Illinois, one Sandy Page.
Yes, who's been on our show many times from Chicago.
That's a little better. As I'm driving in a car, getting excited about the show coming on later, I decided that when I get home, I'm going to write you a note to tell you about all the benefits I receive from listening. Just then, I realized that the song on the radio is Right Now by Van Halen. So I pulled over to write it. Anyway, not only do you guys help me every week with helpful practical ideas that I use, but I find myself quoting you and passing these ideas to the many people I come across just about every day. So just to let you know, your show helps so many people that more people than just the ones that hear it. Thank you, and bravo.
You know what? I like the thing I loved about her message, and I thank her for sending it, was when she said, I was thinking about doing it, and I heard the song Right Now, and then she did it, because I have gotten more and more in the habit. If I think of somebody, you know, I'll send them the blessing in my mind. But if it's something that I intended to do, like a letter or something, I just go, oh, I'll do it now. And it's amazing how it turns out to be the right moment, because the energy surge I get. I start to like.
Oh, it feeds everything else.
And then all my other, you know, scheduled to-dos seem to like rapidly fall into place.
They always do. Why don't you go ahead and read this one right here? This is a great one. This is one of the.
Oh my God.
The flavor of this was a true compliment to our show.
Yes, it is, because it starts with
who's it from?
This is from Christina Rabome from Oakland, California. This is a brand new fan, ladies and gentlemen. And she writes, "Hi guys, I'm a very sensitive person and take everything seriously, so when I tuned into your show, I was annoyed for a second by your humor and scattered thoughts."
Sure, you're not alone in that.
But then you shared try living in our heads.
Yes.
But then you shared personal stories of your path every day, particularly the morning fog. You spoke right to me. I've been listening to back recordings for 2 weeks now.
Wow.
And they are changing my life, giving me really usable tools. So many Funniest Thing moments. Thank you for your lightness. It's amazing. I mean, this letter was so positive. Any letter that starts off with a punch in the kisser, but then they say something so positive, is the greatest compliment ever. Because it really says you're not just kissing our heinies.
That's right.
But everybody else doesn't have to punch us in the kisser first.
Let's just give a brief overview of how we originally we got a message from Christina regarding a past show she listened to with Stephen Chandler.
That's right. And she wanted to reach out to him.
She wrote us an amazing email about him.
Because she would like to invite him to, anyone in the corporate business that has turned to spiritual understanding like himself is a friend of hers, and she wanted to know if he'd be interested in introducing yoga. And she sent him a letter. We forwarded it to Steve, and we wish him the best.
Steve Chandler is a great guy.
Oh my God!
So
of course he is. I mean, how could you not love the guy? He came up with the.
The scoop.
That's right.
The Frito scoop thing.
No, I thought it's Tostitos.
Tostitos scoop.
Scoops.
That's what it is. So Christina Rabome she's the founder of Yoga in Your Workplace, yogainyourworkplace.com. So thank you, Christina. We got one from Jill Aspie. I'm not sure where she's from, but you posted. I couldn't find it. We did an about Facebook. I wasn't able to locate it, but it does say, "I love you guys. Thanks for doing what you do. It's so cool to see and hear two dudes discussing the principles of life. XOXOXOXOXO. That's a lot of
and
hugs
2
and
exclamation
kisses.
points.
Yeah. And then we had one last little
What do you got?
thing. We also came through the mailbag from our friend Rachel Gallant.
Oh, she's a long-time listener.
What does this say here?
It says, "You are my twin joy. Thinking of you and loving your show. Sending you love and joy." Because she was behind a car that had a license plate that said Twin Joy, and she snapped
sent us a picture of that license plate. And
speaking of pictures, we posted on Facebook and last week on the script.
Yeah.
It's called Show Script on our website. You should check it out.
There's photographic evidence.
Photographic evidence that Daryl and Ed are great kissers.
But speaking of kiss, let's just take this one home with "We wanna rock and roll all night and make love every day. We wanna rock and roll all night
and make love every day." Make love, it's hard to sing. Anyway.
Come on, buddy.
I'm here. Visit DarylandEd.com to find easy links to everything we do, including the Funniest Thing podcast on iTunes, our YouTube page, our Twitter, and at Daryl and Ed, and the Funniest Thing fan page on Facebook. It's all there. But most of all, and as always, thank you for being a part of Funniest Thing with Daryl and Ed on Unity Online Radio.
Rock and roll all night.
Make love every day. We wanna rock and roll all night.
Make love every day.
Woo!
Wow.
What do you got?
Click us out. I can't hear what's going on.
Oh, you can't hear him?
I don't have my earbuds in.
All right. We love you.
We love you.
Put on the recording.